Bonjour Year 9, welcome to Lesson 5, and you're talking about and writing about where you live today with Mr Bolis. As always, here's the list of equipment you will need to have for this lesson, so pause to get that ready now and to open up in a browser the Knowledge Organizer from Class Charts, Module 6 and wordreference.com. Pause now. Don't forget to email me if you've got any questions at all about the activities in today's lesson. Thank you to everyone who's uploaded their work on Class Charts. Your first week's work was marked, so if you submitted it on time, then you will have your work marked and an achievement point. Here's a reminder of my email address, and please don't forget to upload a copy of your work to Class Charts at the end of the lesson. Merci. Copiez la date, mercredi 10 juin, that's Wednesday the 10th of June, et le titre, dans ma région, in my area, and make sure you underline your date and title in French. Then write down the objective, l'objectif, to give opinions and reasons about your area. Pause to do that now. Super. Okay, doing our activity should take 5 minutes. I'd like to fill in the gaps using the correct preposition for the place or type of place, using dans, à, en, au, à la, or au with an X at the end, okay? Write down the sentences with the correct preposition now and press play to check your answers. Excellent, okay. Numéro 1, j'habite à Bordeaux. It's à Bordeaux because Bordeaux is a town or city and they always take à. 2, j'habite au bord de la mer. Now, bord is masculine on the seaside, so it takes au. 3, j'habite à la montagne. We know that montagne is a feminine word, it ends in an E and it follows the rule, so it's à la montagne. And finally, numéro 4, j'habite en Nouvelle-Zélande. Now here, Nouvelle-Zélande, New Zealand, is a country and it ends in an E for Zélande. If we weren't sure, then Nouvelle is in the feminine form, so that would tell us it's a feminine country, so feminine countries always take en. Okay, well done, Year 9. Don't forget to upload your work at the end of the lesson to Class Charts so I can give you a well-deserved achievement point. Have a lovely lesson with Mr Bolis. Merci, au revoir.
So today we are learning about our area and how to give opinions about it. But first, let's start by having a look at a few key phrases we need to know for this topic. So I'm now going to read you some phrases. Can you please repeat them out loud after me? Dans ma région, il y a un lac. Il y a un port de pêche. Il y a un fleuve. Il y a une station balnéaire. Il y a une rivière. Il y a des vignobles. Il y a des collines. Il y a des forêts. Il y a des fermes. Il y a des champs. Il y a des stations de ski. Il n'y a pas de lac. Well done. So next, as usual, I want you to match up the French with the English now on your screen. Press pause and then press play when you're ready to see the correction. Well done for doing the matchup so quickly. Let's have a look at what you found. Dans ma région is in my region or my area. This is the idea of your surroundings, where you live. Il y a un lac, there is a lake. Il y a un port de pêche, there is a fishing port. Il y a un fleuve, there's a big river. Now for all those ones, you would have noticed that after il y a, we've put un. That means that all the words after it are masculine. For port de pêche, please note that you've got a swap there between pêche, which means fishing, and port, which is a harbor, so fishing port, port de pêche. Il y a une station balnéaire, is there's a beach resort. Il y a une rivière, there is a river. Now, these next two, number 5 and 6, are feminine. You know that because they start with une. Il y a des vignobles, vineyards. Il y a des collines, there are hills. Il y a des forêts, there are forests. Il y a des fermes, there are farms. Il y a des champs, there are fields. Des stations de ski, ski resorts. Okay, now all the last ones are plural, which means that you've got more than one. Now please note that if you wanted to say there are rivers, looking at number 6, you would say il y a des rivières. So you can always change the top phrases. Yeah, and if there's only one forest, you can say il y a une forêt. Now for number 7 to 12, if you want to change them to singular, you will need to look up whether they're masculine or feminine. And the last one, il n'y a pas de lac, there is no lake. Now have a look at number 2. Number 2, after il y a, we put un. For number 13, we put il n'y a pas de, and that un disappeared. It's kind of replaced with de. So when you make any of those phrases negative, you change it to il n'y a pas de. You can now press pause, double check that you've taken correction thoroughly, and then press play when you're ready for your next activity. So we're now going to do some Quizlet. I want you to follow the link on class charts or on YouTube. Complete the activities, learn, write and spell, and then finally test yourself. If you want to do more activities than that, like the match, the gravity, anything else that you want to do, or even live, because other students are completing these activities at the same time as you can as well. Don't feel restricted, but the minimum is to do the learn, write and spell and to test yourself. You can now press pause, complete the Quizlet activities, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Next, we'll be looking at this sentence builder. So if you look at the first 2 columns, they are your opinions. And the very first column is all phrases that you should know. Maybe not the last one, j'ai horreur de, which means I really hate. But all the others, you should know them because you've studied them before. The second column, you've got habiter dans ma région, vivre dans ma région, both mean exactly the same. So in a few minutes, when we'll be writing down sentences, I don't mind whether you use one for the other, but try to vary them. Do not just use one phrase. Vary vocabulary. Habiter ici and vivre ici also mean exactly the same. Then you've got your connectives. Now, parce que and car you should be very familiar with because they are words you should be using on a regular basis. Puisque is kind of new. We've started to see it, but I want you to start using it a bit more. And then you've got cependant, mais, par contre. Mais, you should be familiar with that. Cependant as well. Par contre, once again, it's new. And même si, even though, is a nice phrase to use with those sentences, which we'll see in a few minutes. And then you've got the reasons. Why do you like or not like living in your area? And then you've got all possible options. So with the il y a, the positive version, and il n'y a pas de, the negative one. Notice one more time that after il n'y a pas de, you don't have un, une, or des anymore. You go straight into what you're talking about, if that makes sense. Okay, good. Now I'm going to read you a series of sentences. Write them down in your exercise book. Numéro 1. J'aime beaucoup vivre dans ma région parce que il y a des stations de ski. Numéro 2. J'aime bien habiter ici. Cependant, il n'y a pas de port de pêche. Numéro 3. Je déteste habiter dans ma région car il n'y a pas de station balnéaire. Numéro 4. Je n'aime pas du tout vivre ici, même si il y a des forêts. Numéro 5. I'm now going to read you the sentences in English. Please write them down in French in your exercise book. I like to live in my area. Since there are farms and fields. Numéro 6. I really hate to live here, even though there are hills. Numéro 7. I love to live in my area. On the other hand, there is no lake. Well done. So let's have a look at what you wrote. Please take a few minutes to have a look at what's on your screen, compare it to what's in your exercise book, and make sure you take correction thoroughly. You can now press pause and press play when you're ready to continue. For your next activity, I want you to take the time to write down 5 sentences in your exercise book using the sentence builder you've got in front of you, and then translate them into English. Now try to join them using connectives like also, and you can also start with, in my area and sentence phrases like that. You can now press pause and then press play when you're ready to continue with the lesson.
Merci beaucoup. Bon travail, Year 9. Thanks for all your very hard work in today's lesson. Please upload a picture of your work or copy to Class Charts to get an achievement point. I look forward to our next lesson. Merci, au revoir.